Hello, my name is Nikki, and in this video we're going to look at Figma's interface. If you haven't heard of Figma before, Figma is the newest and coolest design and prototyping tool for designers and developers that nurtures collaboration within the product team. It also makes design development handoff very easy. Okay, so let's dive in. Just gonna move myself here. So you gotta go to figma.com and register with your email address. And once you did that, then this is your Figma landing page. The interesting thing that happened since yesterday, like this is the new interface, because until yesterday, we haven't seen this part where you have action buttons, where you can start a new design file or a Figma gem file. You could only see the last viewed section. If you wanna remove the visual clutter, you just click this one and then you can hide the templates, and then you would have the most important buttons on the top. So on this part, this is your last viewed files. And I do prefer the list view instead of grid view, but if you're more of a visual person, then you can just try this one out and see what works for you the best. So this is our toolbar. And you have quick links to recent and draft files. You also have an option to look at the community tab that I would highly recommend. You can explore the section, you can find different plugins and FigGem files, design systems, wireframes, icons, whatever you need. People give away free things nowadays. So what I learned based on my last few years of experience with Figma, this is kind of a hit and miss, or it was in the past, it was kind of a hit and miss. Check how many people duplicated this file and what kind of comments they added. Like for example, this is done by Figma itself, so we assume this is pretty good, so I'm just going to check this one out. It's also a trending file. I wonder if actually something comes in. No, nothing. Oh, it is loading in. You just barely can see that, but there is actually a blue line here that shows this file is loading into the frame. So we're just gonna wait for that. We're supposed to see other things here, so we might just going to try another page for demonstration purposes. Okay, how about this one? Dynamic UI kit for Figma. Again, it's loading in. Oh no, wait, let's wait. Sometimes it does it, so maybe because my computer is so old, but I need to refresh this. Wow, this is a little bit painful now. We're waiting for this for 2 minutes and I have high-speed internet, so I'm just going to exit this page. Okay, so once your file loaded in, then what you can do is you can just go through these pages. So this is essentially a frame where you just kind of have a preview of what you're going to get if you're going to duplicate this file to your profile. So you can go through this and decide if it works for you or not, or this is what you're looking for. And if you like it, you can heart it, or you can just easily duplicate this and make it your own. So you just click this. I'm not gonna do that now. So we're just gonna go back to our files. Now we are on the landing page again. So that was the community tab. It's still beta, as you can tell. If you only register for the freemium version, then you will always see this upgrade button here. So Figma reminds you that you can upgrade anytime. But if you would have an enterprise or a team version or a business license, I think that's what it's called. If you would have that, then you would have your team name here. So, but now this is Nikki's team, which is just me. You can dive into this part. You have your projects within the team. I'm just going to click this design file. Okay, now this is the very interesting part. So again, this black bar is your toolbar, where you can go back to your files and you have some quick actions that you can do, search amongst quick actions, and you have plugins that you have quick access to. In your toolbar, you have the selection tool here, a move and scale option as well. I like to have my mouse on the selection tool. It's just my practice, but whatever works for you. This one I think it got renamed recently, so now it's called Region Tool, but this is essentially how you can draw a frame. Keyboard shortcut is F, or you click this option. I like to use keyboard shortcuts, and I just have a frame here. Okay, very good. And this is our shape tool. You have rectangles, lines, arrows, ellipses, polygon, star, and you can place an image in here. I don't remember when was the last time when I used a rectangle, because I use frames instead. There are multiple reasons why I prefer using frames, and maybe we can dive into that during another video. But essentially, frames are more powerful. You can have auto layout assigned to frames. So this is kind of good practice to use frames instead of rectangles. Okay, so this next one is your pen tool. If you're familiar with Illustrator, this is how you can draw vector graphics. So see? And once you're done, hit done, and then beautiful. We just created a shape here. Now we are able to export. So you're just gonna click on this export panel here, select whatever version you would like to export this. If you would like to export this as a vector graphic, then you need to pick SVG. So let's go back to our toolbar again. T stands for text. You can just add text to your file. This is your hand tool, so that's how you move or navigate yourself around. So you can actually move around in a different way. You just gotta press spacebar and drag with your mouse, and that's how you move around or navigate around. Okay, this next option is comment section. I can just add the comment to this frame. Let's say hello, and I can tag someone and post it. So that's very simple, and then you can see all of the comments and the replies here as well. So in the toolbar we have a project name here. This is our project name, which I still should rename for good practice. And this is your file name. This is your avatar. And if other people view your file at the same time, then you see multiple little avatars here or multiple little badges here. So it shows people who are viewing your file. With this button, you can share your file with anybody and you can limit their rights. See what I mean? For example, I shared my file with this person. This is me. I only give this person can view rights. I can change it to can edit as well. But I really like to use can view because in that way people are not able to move things around on my artboard, but they are still able to add comments to my file. If I had a prototype, then I would be able to launch my prototype with this. And this is your zoom in and out option. So next we have two panels on both sides. So this is our layers panel. This is our properties panel. On the layers panel, we have layers, as you can see, assets. So on the layers panel, we can have multiple pages within a file. This is a page that I just named Nikki.design. And you can see that we have a beautiful accordion designed here. What you see below this faint line is all of the elements that I added to this page. So I can just select this element, and it shows that this is a frame, and I can open up and see what else is included in that frame. See? So that's very simple. On the Asset tab, if you would be part of a larger organization or you would be part of a group that's using a design system or a design library, then you would be able to access the theme library through here and all of the assets that's included in the theme library. Okay, now we're going to look at this properties panel. And I have this element selected. So on the properties panel, we have multiple tabs: design, prototype, and inspect tab. On the design tab, that's where you are able to modify the properties. For example, you can see that this element has a border radius of 3 pixels. It doesn't have an auto layout, although I can assign an auto layout to it. It has a fill color and I can assign a stroke color to it, I can export it, or I can add effects like drop shadow to it. And on the prototype tab, that's where you can build up your prototype. Let's say like you select something and then you will have more options what you can do here, what kind of interactions you can add to the element. And on the inspect tab, this is very useful when you work with developers because they can come here and inspect all of the elements, what kind of properties they need to include in the CSS. You can see the CSS section here. And that is basically it. So that was a very quick introduction to Figma's interface. I hope you find this video useful and give Figma a go. It's a great tool, especially if you're just starting out, because the learning curve is much shorter and smaller than with other design tools. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and I see you next time. Bye.